Wendy, would you want to go to the Oscars?
Oscars?
Yeah. This weekend?
What's Oscars?
Well, the award show. Would you want to go to award show and walk the red carpet?
Yeah.
Oh, you would? Okay. Okay.
I want to wear this.
No, you wouldn't be able to wear that though. You would have to be like glammed up in like in a dress, like after evening wear. We would have to probably go shopping because I don't think you packed anything like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you packed.
No.
Okay.
Right here, look.
Okay.
Please. No, look closely.
Right.
Hold up, please. Hold up. I can't hold it higher. Do you see?
Yeah, we can see. Yeah.
Okay, do you see this?
Yes.
All right, it's up and down. Okay. That is, I can only feel maybe 5% of my feet.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Right.
Normally, I would be in a wheelchair. I'm not in a wheelchair. I stand up.
How are you feeling, Wendy? I know we saw some video of you out in New York City last night, and you seem to be moving well. I mean, how are you feeling, just physically?
Better than you.
That's no doubt, by the way. There's no doubt. I'm shocked. So you're able to move around fine with 5%?
Listen to what I'm telling you. I already told.
Wendy, how are you tonight and what brings you out?
Coming out to eat. It's dinner time.
Mm-hmm. And any reactions to the your medical report that does hold up the dementia diagnosis?
No, and my attorneys are highly upset.
They are?
Yes, my attorneys are highly upset.
Okay, good.
Diamond, yeah.
And what about do you have anything you want to say to your conservator?
I want to say hi to my attorney, Alan Diamond, all right, and Joe.
Cool.
Joe Tacopina.
Cool.
Those are my attorneys, and I will get out of guardianship.
Wendy Williams, once known for her bold personality and her huge success in daytime television, has been facing a nightmare that few people could ever imagine. For years, she lived under a court-ordered guardianship and was labeled with medical conditions she says she never had. Now, new independent tests have revealed something shocking. Her diagnosis may have been intentionally fabricated. Think about what that would feel like. Being pushed out of your own home, your family kept away from you, your long career suddenly taken from you, and strangers making every decision about your money and your daily life. All of this happened while Wendy kept saying she was fine and that something about her situation didn't make sense. She kept speaking up, but almost everyone brushed off her words, assuming she wasn't thinking clearly. Even some major celebrities hinted that Wendy's situation wasn't random. Nicki Minaj, for example, suggested that what was happening to Wendy wasn't unique and that other stars could face the same treatment. That warning didn't get much attention at the time, but now things look different. A respected neurologist has confirmed that Wendy does not have frontal temporal dementia, the very condition used for years to justify taking control of her life. This raises tough questions. How does someone as famous and successful as Wendy end up in a situation where she's labeled unfit and stripped of basic rights? How did a bank as large as Wells Fargo, along with lawyers and other powerful groups, get involved in a case that now appears to have been based on false information? And if this could happen to her, who might be next? The story is complicated, emotional, and full of disturbing details. And despite everything that has already come out, this is only the beginning. Wendy had built her career on honesty, humor, and her ability to connect with viewers. For decades, she worked in both radio and television, becoming one of the most recognizable voices in entertainment. But her life took a sharp turn when Wells Fargo claimed she was no longer able to manage her own finances. They argued she needed protection, and the court appointed a guardian to take control of her bank accounts and major decisions. The result was devastating. Almost instantly, Wendy was shut out from the people she trusted most. Family visits were limited or completely denied, calls were screened, and any contact with the outside world went through her guardian. Her daytime talk show, which millions watched every day, was suddenly canceled with little explanation. Fans were confused because many believed she could have continued hosting. Things became even more alarming when she was taken to mental health facilities multiple times. She was treated for disorders she didn't believe she had. She later explained that her life had turned into a schedule that she didn't control. Strangers told her when to wake up, when to rest, what treatments to take, and how to spend her time. Her once strong, outspoken voice was almost erased. It made people wonder, was all of this really about helping her, or was something else happening? According to Wendy, the diagnosis that controlled her life wasn't a mistake, it was planned. She has claimed that the same people meant to protect her might have been responsible for pushing the false diagnosis in the first place. She spent years being identified as someone with several mental illnesses, including frontal temporal dementia, a condition that deeply affects behavior, decision-making, and memory. Wendy kept insisting she was fine. She told anyone who listened that she wasn't suffering from what the reports claimed. But her words were ignored, overshadowed by legal papers, medical notes, and court orders. It wasn't until a team of independent specialists ran new neurological tests that the real picture appeared. TMZ reported the findings. Wendy did not show signs of the condition she had been treated for. Nicki Minaj's warning suddenly seemed much more serious. She suggested that people in the entertainment world could be targeted in similar ways, especially if they are outspoken or difficult to control. Some brushed off her comments, thinking she was exaggerating. But now that Wendy's situation is being exposed, those warnings don't sound so unrealistic anymore. The idea that a legal structure built to protect someone could instead be used to trap them is extremely unsettling. Wendy lost her show, her freedom, and her privacy while her family watched helplessly. Her fight wasn't only emotional, it was confusing, frustrating, and lonely. Her son, Kevin Jr., also spoke publicly about what was happening. He pointed out something that didn't make sense at all. If doctors believed her condition was related to alcohol, why did the people controlling her life allow her to continue drinking? He also said that the family was kept away without any clear explanation. He often didn't know where she was, what treatments she was receiving, or how she was doing. This situation terrified him. He had grown up with a mother who was full of energy and confidence, and now he saw her being cut off from everyone she loved. He couldn't visit freely, calls rarely went through, and decisions were made behind closed doors. Wendy has talked about the pain of being kept from her family. She attempted several times to get independent evaluations, hoping the results would set her free. Every time she tried to prove she was healthy, she felt ignored. Experts say that frontal temporal dementia usually gets worse every year, but Wendy showed the opposite. After getting sober and completing recovery programs about 3 years ago, she demonstrated stronger clarity, better memory, and steady thinking. Her condition didn't reflect the diagnosis she was given. This increased the suspicion that the diagnosis wasn't just wrong. It may have been used to justify keeping her under strict control. Even after being pushed aside for years, Wendy didn't stop fighting. She continued searching for doctors who would actually listen. Each new test backed up her claims, showing that she wasn't suffering from the condition that had taken away her rights. Wendy's legal team is now moving quickly. TMZ reported that her lawyers are preparing to file the paperwork needed to formally end the guardianship. If the judge denies their request, attorney Joe Tacopina is ready to push for a jury trial so regular people, not just a single judge, can hear the evidence and decide what really happened. This could finally shut the door on years of control, secrecy, and restrictions, allowing Wendy to regain the life she once had. But her fight doesn't end in the courtroom. To fully understand what she has faced, it's important to look at the long history of conflicts, powerful people, and industry behavior that surrounded her career. There were several moments and confrontations that may have played a part in how she ended up in this situation. Wendy's problems didn't start with her diagnosis or the guardianship. They go back to her early career in radio and her willingness to talk about topics other hosts avoided. One of the biggest clashes involved Sean Diddy Combs. Wendy had discussed a set of photos that appeared to show him in a questionable situation during a trip to Mexico. Whether the photos were real or not, the very act of talking about them triggered backlash. Her bold reporting stirred up the industry. Soon after those stories aired, Wendy was fired from Hot 97. Many people close to the situation have said they believed the decision was connected to her comments about Diddy. According to insiders, the fallout didn't stop with her career. Wendy later revealed that he even threatened her teenage son, which turned the conflict from a business issue into something deeply personal. Wendy often spoke openly about celebrities and their behavior. She addressed rumors, revealed information others avoided, and questioned powerful people. This made her a major figure in entertainment news, but it also made her a target. Some saw her as a threat because she didn't shy away from telling the truth as she saw it, even when it involved major stars or influential companies. Over time, her reputation for fearlessness may have created enemies who preferred to see her silenced. Nicki Minaj has also spoken out about Wendy's situation. She believes it is part of a much wider problem in the entertainment business. Nicki claims that Wendy wasn't the only one targeted and even named major figures like Jay-Z and his company Roc Nation, suggesting they had a hand in how things unfolded. She warned that these tactics could be used against more celebrities and said that her own husband, Kenneth Petty, has played a key role in keeping her protected from the same type of situation. Her point is unsettling. According to Nicki, celebrities who are single or divorced can be easier to control because a guardian can be put in charge of their decisions. Wendy was divorced by the time her guardianship began, which may have made her situation easier to manipulate. Nicki explained that being married gives someone an extra layer of legal protection because the spouse usually has authority over important decisions. Without that, powerful groups can step in and attempt to control the celebrity's finances and choices. She also pointed out how media coverage, legal teams, and industry insiders can be used to create a storyline that supports these actions. In Wendy's case, the false diagnosis, the limited contact with family, and the way her career suddenly collapsed all helped shape the idea that she was unable to take care of herself. This image made the guardianship look justified, even though new tests now show she never had the condition she was labeled with. This pattern isn't unique to Wendy. Britney Spears dealt with a conservatorship that lasted more than a decade and controlled almost every part of her life. Kanye West has faced public and legal challenges tied to his mental health that sparked conversations about whether he could lose control of his assets. Even Michael Jackson had long battles over who handled his finances and who influenced his decisions. The stories differ, but the theme is similar. Power and money can lead to situations where famous people lose control over their lives. Wendy's case reveals how all of these elements, courts, doctors, banks, lawyers, and media coverage, can combine to create a system that looks protective on the surface, but can be used to control someone who refuses to stay quiet. What happened to Wendy shows how quickly someone can be labeled unfit and how hard it can be to escape once that label is placed on them. Her son's involvement and the independent medical tests played a major role in exposing what was wrong. Kevin Jr. spoke out repeatedly, pointing out contradictions in the story surrounding his mother. The fact that the guardian allowed her to drink, even though her supposed condition was said to be alcohol-related, made no sense to him. His concerns, along with the neurologist's findings, helped shift the narrative. This raises the question, how many people, famous or not, are stuck in similar situations without anyone to speak up for them? How many cases involve false claims, pressure from powerful people, or a system that doesn't look closely enough at the facts? Nicki Minaj's warning adds even more urgency. She says the same methods could be used against her, and while her marriage offers some protection, she believes the threat is still real. Her comments show that the issue goes far beyond one celebrity. It's something that affects the entire industry. After all the suffering Wendy has endured, she may finally be close to getting her life back. The neurological tests prove she was misdiagnosed. Her legal team is pushing to end the guardianship, and the truth about her treatment is becoming public. For someone who built her career on speaking openly, returning to control of her own life means everything. Her story also leaves people with important questions. If this can happen to someone as well-known as Wendy Williams, what does that mean for others with far less visibility? How can financial and legal power be checked so that it isn't misused? And with more celebrities coming forward about being targeted, how far does this problem reach? Now fans are left wondering what comes next. Will Wendy finally have complete freedom again? Will the industry be held responsible for the roles different people may have played in her situation? And how can the public help protect others from going through the same thing? Share your thoughts. Do you think Wendy will finally be free for good? And do you believe Nicki Minaj could face similar trouble? Let us know in the comments, and click here to watch another story that uncovers more celebrity truths. The fight for fairness isn't over, and the next chapter may be even more revealing.